Yeah. Jesse versus. I don't know whether he's a gay pastor or he's just pro LGBTQ pastor. Which I'm listening to the Bible at the minute, and there's maybe in Leviticus because I skipped them and Deuteronomy, and because they're just like lists and lists and lists. But to be honest, they're for Jewish people more than Christians. Jesus kind of points that out. Like, there's nothing in it that condones it. I'll say that you don't have to condone it, but it's also like even Sodom and Gomorrah. It's not the fact that I mean, they are do it, but they're just banging everybody. That's what was so like bad about Sodom and Gomorrah was everyone was banging everyone, and everyone was just like animals basically, to the point that they wanted to sleep with the angels that went to Isaac. I think it was Isaac. But even in that story, it's not necessarily just because also like um adultery is just as bad. Do you know what I mean? Like, but even Jesus doesn't condemn the woman. He he says, if no one else condemned you, then I won't condemn you. But then he does go on to say, stop sinning. It's the kind of Christian thing is to hate the sin, love the sinner. That was Jesus's thing. Um, but yeah, we'll see Jesse versus. But I don't know whether Jesse. I think Jesse is. I don't think he's Catholic, but I could be wrong. But it under Catholicism, loads of things is not right. Birth control and condoms are all like sinful, but Protestants, yeah, it's a bit different. They're a bit more chill, I guess. But yeah, let's go.
Are you surprised, as I am, that there are men and women, boys and girls, and some of them are Christians and some are not, are now accepting homosexuality, so called same sex marriage, abortion, LGBTQ stuff as normal? Are you surprised that society is promoting evil as though it's good and good as evil?
Yeah, I think we probably disagree on that because I'm not surprised that people are in dialogue with all those communities. And I'm not surprised that those folks are in our church. And I'm not surprised that we
Which
are
votes? Which votes?
LGBTQ, everybody's in our churches, right?
But are you surprised that there are preachers and non Christians and Christians alike who are accepting those things as normal rather than helping these people to overcome?
Well, I will tell you right now, this is why we're sponsoring a conversation in I think 2 weeks called what's it called? Confronting. The fact of the matter is that the idea of these ministries is that they overcome over the course of time has not changed anybody. They literally have not changed anybody. And so the notion that somehow we can change someone's sexuality by having them go off on the community or even have these things is just
But I
clearly.
hear from people all the time who have changed, overcome. But are you surprised, though, that there are preachers and others who are accepting homosexuality, so-called same-sex marriage, abortion, LGBT as normal? I understand that, except for the radicals, that there are people stuck in those lifestyles, and they want to overcome because they know it's wrong. Are you
Yeah, I know what Jesse like. Well, yeah, it's not normal. If it was normal, then we wouldn't all be here. The population wouldn't be as high as it is. It's like it's not the norm. It's abnormal. It's an abnormal character um, in humans, but there are abnormalities in nature. Like that, there's nothing wrong with abnormalities, but there is a norm, and to make the abnormality the norm obviously isn't normal. To think of it as the same thing is like it's not. And why you would promote one over the other, um, when the other obviously is more normal, because otherwise, how on earth, if everybody was gay, or even like 50% of the population throughout history was gay, there would be nowhere near as many people as we've got. But yeah, I don't agree with that it's necessarily evil.
Surprised that there are people who are accepting it
Pride
as
is.
normal
Pride in it is.
in
Pride in
Yeah,
today's
anything
man.
is.
yeah, I have to tell you that I have been in this center as an advocate that, in point of fact, God is not condemning people because of those things that you've just talked about. Now, by the way, you put a lot of them in you put them all in one thing. I think
In
that
the same basket because it's
right,
all evil.
right. Well, I would say let's talk about abortion first,
But
okay?
first, let me ask though: are you surprised that
Oh no,
there
I'm
are
not.
people out there calling themselves Christians and others who are accepting all this, homosexuality, abortion, so-called same-sex marriage, and LGBT, and living together, sex before marriage? Are you surprised that
Yeah, all
people
of
are
it is.
accepting evil as normal?
I do not. I am not only not surprised, but I don't think it's all evil either.
Would you ever accept that as normal?
I will accept it as what God has created. Not
How,
everything, not everything in that list. Not everything.
But that's the thing as well. Like, that is like, yeah, like homosexuality is no different to any of the others. Like I say, like sleeping around, male or female, is not condoned. Like, that's just as sinful. And I suppose in that way you can say it's evil, because anything sinful that takes you away from God necessarily would be evil. If it's not God, it's evil. So all of them things are sex before marriage. Um, like, and even things with that, there's statistical proof that two virgins that get married have it's like a 5% chance they will get divorced. Couples with 1 to 2 previous partners before they get married to a person, it jumps from like 5 to like 30. That's a big jump. So like, yeah, there is actually a value in it. Statistically, them relationships tend to not um break up.
In that list, but I would accept the fact that people are
Is
who.
there anything a part in that list that you would accept as normal? Being a preacher, you're a reverend. Is there
Yeah,
anything would you accept abortion or homosexuality or same-sex marriage, LGBT, living together before marriage or having sex before marriage? Would you accept any of that as normal?
I would accept that people's sexuality is something that God gives them, and if they're gay, they're all right. I
Would you,
would
so
accept
you
that.
would accept it as normal?
I would accept it as what God has created.
How about
I,
as normal?
I don't understand what you mean by normal.
Would you accept those things that I just named off as normal?
Okay, so again, I will say LGBTQ, I would accept it as what God has created and who they are.
Oh, you
Absolutely.
think God created the lesbians and the homosexuals?
I will say actually that's probably more normal now. Everything Jesse named is probably more normal now than the opposite is. Than not having sex before marriage. People that don't get married whatsoever, just what they call it, civil. Basically, like, you're married, you just have kids and live together. You just don't actually go through the marriage thing and sign a bit of paper, but you live together. Common law, that's it, common law. Um, them type of things are way more normal today, but it hasn't done any better for society. It's actually made society worse. That way of living, again, not just including the LGBTQ thing, but yeah, all of it. Yeah, sex before marriage, sleeping around, living together. Like, living together as well is, there's more chance of people killing themselves in them relationships when people just live together, as opposed to two people that are married for a long time. Yeah, there's statistics where it just shows that actually that kind of more religious um, idea is actually better. But is it more normal today? Nah.
Who else did?
You think God created them?
Who else did?
He created the person, but he didn't create the evil spirit that made a home in them, right?
So you think that every single person who's gay or lesbian is is possessed of the spirit and is evil?
But no, I'm asking you, do you?
I'm asking
Yes, yes, absolutely, yes.
you.
It's
And I would totally disagree with you.
why you think God created a spirit that would destroy people rather than giving them love and build them up? You think He
I don't know why
created a destructive spirit in them?
would you say it would destroy people?
Homosexuality destroys. It doesn't build up.
Why do you say it destroys people? I'm
Because they be
I'm a straight male, and I've seen a lot of people who love the Lord and who are gay and who are even ministers who are gay and love the Lord and brought people. I've seen them on the street bringing people. And so I don't understand the fact that you just think that everybody who's that way would be destroyed.
What do you think? Homosexuals and things like that don't love God. Preachers that are homosexuals don't love God. They
They
love
don't love God?
no, they love
They
Satan.
don't love God. How do you know they don't love God?
Because if they love God, they wouldn't be locked in that lifestyle. They would be free from it.
Okay, so you think that the love of so everybody who's got anything that you call sin in your life in their life don't love God?
Right.
So
Because sin is of the father, the devil, and that's
okay,
why
so
Christ
every
came to
sinner
free
doesn't
them.
love God. So every sinner doesn't love God.
Right. No, you can't be a sinner and love God. You love your dad as Satan. That's why God said you must be born again. Isn't
So
that
let me
right?
ask
Isn't
you
that
something.
right?
Yeah, let me ask you
Is
something.
that
So,
right though? Hold on.
yeah, excuse me. Say again.
That's why God said you must be born again because if you are sinning, you're of your father, the devil. That's why Christ came that you may be free from sin. Isn't that right?
Christ Christ came that we may be free and fulfill. I came that you may have life and have it more abundantly.
But isn't that you can't?
Also, but let me, what you define, and you're defining sin. You've decided these things are sin. And then, therefore, if they are not what you want them to be, then they don't love God. Therefore, they're not, and therefore, they are, in fact, the folks who God does not love, or you do not love them.
How can a sinner love God? His daddy is Satan. He can't love two
But
gods.
you're defining that as a sin. You're defining homosexuality as sin.
Do you think it's not a sin?
It isn't.
No, that's not true. Like I say, there are lists of rules. There are crazy rules. Don't get me wrong, but that is on the list of no-nos. Um, but like I say, to focus in on one thing because there's so many things that um so many there's crazy amounts of rules in the early parts of the Bible when Moses gets the thing, but that's kind of for his people. It's like not everything. You kind of have the Ten Commandments. That is, and that kind of is what the Western world is built off of. But yeah, to say that it doesn't say in the Bible, like I know it does say that. I haven't come across it because, like I say, when it got to the books where the couple of books where it's just literally listing, don't do this, don't do that, don't, and most of them are just like, don't eat olives. I think is one, and just crazy things. You know what I mean? But to say it's not in there as a no, like it is. You can't change the Bible for what you want. That's the thing. You're saying you made it a sin. It's like, well, actually, it does say it in the Bible. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, but
Sin.
What is it?
What is and what?
Homosexuality, if it's not a sin, what is it?
It is what God has created. It is human beings being human beings.
But what is, I know the
You
person,
can misuse sexuality, and that's why I said I didn't accept everything in that list, right? Because just like any other sexuality, you can misuse it, right? But it is just sexuality. And your question is did God create sex? Remember, that's the question, the biblical question of the day that you ask, right?
what is
So you
homosexuality if it's not a sin? You didn't answer that.
it's sexuality. Do
What does
you
that
believe
mean,
God created
sexuality? What does
Do
that
you
mean?
believe that God created sexuality? You asked the question, therefore, you must believe that there's something called sexuality that God created.
No, I don't know what sexuality is. I'm black and I'm slow. What is sexuality?
I'm black and I'm slow too, bro. Don't go there, okay? That ain't gonna work, okay? We both the same, okay?
What is
So,
sexuality?
what sexuality is just the way that human beings relate to one another. They also express their love and can be used also to procreate. Although here lately you can also procreate without sexual intercourse. But sexuality is the way in which people connect and express their love. That's a part of the human condition. That's a part of what human
Amazing.
beings are
So
made by.
you believe that sexuality is love?
Sexuality, I said, is a way. No, I didn't. I want you to at least at least give me my words, right? Sexuality is a way in which we express love. I did not say it was love.
How do you express love with sexuality?
Well, I think everybody who's in a relationship can say how they express love with a reality. Certainly, every married person. Are you married?
No.
Okay, so
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like saying adultery's not a sin, and that you're making it a sin, and that it's okay to sleep around and whatever. It's like the Bible don't agree with that either. You can't then go and say, "Oh no, it's all right for everybody to sleep around just because it's sexuality and God made it." It's like, yeah,
if you were married and you and your wife had sex, what would you be doing?
Making babies?
You wouldn't be expressing love.
No.
Well, then, so you would, so you think that when a married couple has sex, they're not expressing love?
No. They
What are
are.
they doing? They're just having sex. They're just making babies.
They should
So
be making babies, but they're trying to get a good feeling, so they're looking for.
it's only a feeling.
They are looking for a feeling. But let me ask you,
Wait,
what do
wait,
you say about
something.
the callers who call me from all over the country, and sometimes in Canada and other places, and they say they over as a result of what I been putting out there, they've been able to overcome lesbians or homosexuality. They've been free from it. What do you say to those people?
Well, and I get you that. I will never deny someone's experience, but I will tell you right now, the majority of people who say, what we know about, and I invite you to the conversation. Look on our sites to converting. We're going to have a 6-week conversation about this because it's a worldwide phenomenon. 700,000 people have gone through in the last 10 to 15 years, right? Of the 700,000 people, 99% of them said they thought they had changed and it didn't change. So the notion that somehow that can happen is not true. Now, where your callers are from, what their experiences are, is their own experience. I want to get back to
Do
this
you
one.
believe that they were able to overcome, though?
If this is an
Do
interview,
you believe that them when they say that they're able to overcome it?
let me ask you a question.
No, answer that first. Do you believe them when they say they were able to overcome it?
we'll pause there and come back. But yeah, yeah, um, yeah. I don't know what he's because there's like that's what I mean. There's lots of things that if you become Christian that you would have to give up, and there's lots of things that are sinning. To say they're not sins is, and yeah, I don't know. It's like, is it? You should say that maybe that you shouldn't condemn it. Yeah, yeah, because that's the thing. That's where Jesus kind of come in and changed the game, really, and that was part of his thing. That I mean, Jesus did say, yeah, I mean, not in this context, but it's not what goes in the mouth which defiles the man; it's that what comes out the mouth. I mean, there is that. Um, and yeah, Jesus said that true corruption is inside every human. Um, but yeah, that was kind of Jesus's whole thing. He kind of was like breaking the rules of what Moses kind of put out, like, and that's what he kind of got in trouble with and upset people not respecting the Sabbath and yeah, Jesus was like I say, him and his followers weren't kosher like they should have been, and that got noticed and upset people. He sat with prostitutes and thieves. I think they say it's prostitutes and thieves. Um, he said the sinner will get into heaven before the righteous. Um, that's the thing with the whole gay thing. It's a tricky thing. It's the same as the adultery. That's like because the idea is that it's a bit like what Jesus says about the Sabbath. That rules, the rules are made for humans aren't made for the rules. Like he says about the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. The rules are there, I guess, as a kind of guideline, and the more of them you break, the further away you will get from yeah, happiness. And it like people only have a problem with that one because it's a taboo subject, and like you have to accept it. But the same thing would be said of sleeping around. That's not good for someone, male or female. It's not good. It's not a good thing to do, and we have a culture that promotes that too, much more than we have a culture that promotes marriage and um, yeah, all that fun stuff. But yeah, anyway, we'll come back and finish it off. See.